live. Alrighty, we are live. Jess, thank you so much for coming on here and for sharing your lunchtime with me.
Oh, it's lovely. It's really nice. I miss seeing your face on Zoom or our walks during COVID.
I know, that was really nice, wasn't it?
It was. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, yay. So we wanted to chat a little bit more about what it really costs to furnish a home. Now, it's something we do, which had a bit with lots of our clients around budgets, which is a very scary word to some people. But we want to educate people that having a beautiful home doesn't necessarily have to cost a lot of money, but we want to educate people around where to actually invest in those quality pieces and what it actually realistically costs, because some people may get a bit of a fright. Others may understand that they want to save in certain areas. So let's keep this convo really light and easy. And yes, like people like my husband freaked out at that little graph I put together and said, it costs $3,000 for a coffee table. Yes, you can buy it cheaper, like, of course, but that's not the topic. The topic is all about, well, it's not quality, is it? It's not going to last a long time. It's going to go into landfill, and things like that. So
I think the thing here, Mel, is all about balance. I think, that's another B word, but I think lots of my clients sometimes might be a little bit scared to talk about the B word, which is budget. It isn't an invasive process. It's basically we need to know what we're working with to get started, so we can go off and source and investigate new suppliers or some of the suppliers that we've worked so hard to build this relationship with and bring our clients to. We just need a starting number. And I think you'd be surprised when you start listing all these numbers, it can add up. And especially when you're doing a room or a whole house in one fell swoop, it can add up. So this benchmark is fantastic for looking at. And like we said before, is you can take a little bit of money out of one area, pump it to the next. And I guess our approach is quite similar. We'll help you through that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I might actually share that breakdown that you're talking about so people know exactly. So there are, I'd realistically say, would you agree there's 3 levels? You've got entry, mid and high end. Now this is just a breakdown for a living room. You may not need every single piece that's listed depending on the size, but it's to give a starting point on, how much a good quality 3-seat sofa really costs.
Exactly.
And then, like you said, when you break it down, it really does add up. And you've got to, look at your finances, and understand is that, there you are. Oops. Let's bring that up again. Realistically, do you have that money to spend, or can we, invest in a beautiful 3-seat sofa and maybe get something a little bit more affordable with the TV unit or rugs, things that are a bit more interchangeable, like lamps and things.
Absolutely. And I think that leads into the section of we'll help you, kind of give you some suggestions and advice on maybe what is worth investing on.
Yes.
Everyone's in a different life stage. Some people have kids, some people are single, some people have partners, some people are downsizing, some people are upsizing. So we'll really help you navigate through that area and work out what can we do, what furniture pieces do you want to take through to your next phase. And I know this is, getting into another subject, but I'm all about repurposing pieces.
Yeah.
Yes, our approach at Eclectic Creative is really about rocking the old with the new, helping you see that maybe your sofa isn't as sad as you think it is. It just needs some new legs, some new upholstery, some beautiful cushions, artwork. It's a beautiful, it's in good condition, but it really needs a new lease on life. So there's lots of areas that, we can help you discover.
Absolutely. I love that and that's where personality comes into it as well. You don't want it to look like a display home or a showroom.
No, absolutely.
Got to be realistic to your lifestyle as well. And touching on things like families and things, I find lots of clients don't want to invest in a fabric sofa, for example, because they think leather so much easier to keep clean. But I'm trying to, I wouldn't say push, but educate clients that fabric has come a long way in technology. Do you think you'd agree that the protection that's there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I find, I love leather, especially I'm inclined to tan leather.
Yes.
I prefer proportionally that in a nice, beautiful armchair. Nothing against a tan leather sofa, love them. But I think a lot of clients feel, like you say, they have to choose black, white, or tan leather for their sofas, and you don't have to, especially with kids, and pets and animals. There's lots of fabrics now on the market with inbuilt technology that actually stops it from staining, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And also, I always get all my products micro-sealed or Scotch guarded. And I also opt for like a chunkier, thicker texture.
Yes.
But more forgiving. It's not a flat color. Like if someone spills something or someone has an accident,
yeah,
a little bit more.
Forgiving, like you said.
Yeah. And I've actually got some samples here. I don't know if you'll see them, but I work with a beautiful fabric house, you do too, called Zappel. And this is not sponsored, but FiberGuard technology. And this has that inbuilt, technology to stop things from staining. So there's all these little things that we can take you on that journey and show you what we can do. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think sofas in general, let me bring that back up, sorry. It doesn't cost a lot to get custom sofas made. We work with great suppliers that are not your, high street retailer.
Yep, exactly.
And that's the benefit.
Workroom, isn't it? It's more of, and sorry to interrupt, but a lot of people think, again, like budget, the word custom, I'm going to have a heart attack. How much is this going to cost me?
Yeah.
Really be surprised what a little local manufacturer, they're really competitive with your big high street stores that are often built and made offshore.
Yes.
So it's actually a really good process to investigate. And I'm all about, I know many of my clients will say, let's get some prices. What are we working with? We don't know it until we try.
Yeah.
And then we can tweak things. And there's something really beautiful about supporting local manufacture, because also the snowball effect. How it helps the fabric houses, the couriers, all the places that will, even the some of the suppliers we work with, it's still hand cut.
Yes.
How beautiful is that? It's not machine made.
Absolutely. And it's less lead times. And we've been forced to use more Aussie-made furniture suppliers and manufacturers during COVID because lots of shipping just completely stopped. Even when I was working with clients before lockdown, we are still waiting on items to be shipped. And that's not from China, that's from Europe and everywhere else. So it's really honed in on the fact that we need to support Aussie a lot more because it's going to benefit us as well. We're keeping jobs here, we're supporting small businesses, and it's that customer service as well. So if you do need something a little bit out of the box, if you do need to ask a little favor or, that relationship is there, and that's when they can really help you.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, the reason why I guess you would look at engaging an interior designer, because of our community and network of suppliers that we've really worked hard on establishing. So there's a real trust process there, and you can choose any fabric, any timber stain color. We can custom design any shape, any edge detail, piping, contrast. The list goes on. But it's a really fun process, and I think that's what I love to do with my clients. And they would have never thought about it had they not engaged the services of someone like myself.
Yep, for sure. And you don't really hear much anymore of those heirloom pieces. I've got some beautiful pieces that my grandmother has passed down. But these days, or even my parents, there's nothing truly that's I would want to keep, I guess, because the quality is just not there. And years ago, like in our grandparents' time, everything was made by hand. It was solid timber. There was so much love involved in that. And that's why it stood the test of time. So I think if you're wanting quality piece is going to last a long time, like your dining table, for example. I've had so many clients that say, you know, they don't care if their kid's drawn it with crayon, if it's a desk, which it is now, if it's, you know, somewhere where, you know, you can have parties and not worry about it scratching, you know, you can have that beautiful character-filled dining table with a quality piece. You don't have to worry about it being pristine all the time. And some manufactured tables need to be kept pristine, I guess, because the quality is not that great. It could be a veneer or it could be a laminate.
And you know, and is that really living? Like, do we want to live like that?
Yeah.
I think, and that, you know, lends itself to how I start a process is something to, how do you want your home to feel? You know, and a lot of my clients come to me because of creating cozy, warm, inviting homes for living, kids, for parties, for entertaining.
Yes.
So, you know, they're considerations to think about when you're choosing furniture.
Yeah, for sure.
Red, look at my chest.
Oh
my God.
Literally.
I'm self-combusting. A lot of people know that I get quite hot, but that is really red. I'm like sunburnt. But not to detract ourselves from this conversation, but, you know, a lot of pieces too can, you know, timber beautiful pieces that have been made and crafted.
Yeah.
A lot of my clients are either embarrassed to show me or they might be saying, oh, they're a little bit daggy. But I think a key here is looking at the shape and maybe the silhouette of the piece. Let's sand it back and stain it or get it finished beautifully. And then blend something a little bit more contemporary with it. I think it's that real fun balance.
Yeah.
That's where you get that personality and that fun in an interior.
Yeah, because you don't have to buy, when you buy the dining table, you don't have to buy the matching chairs, the entertainment unit, and the coffee table.
No, and
I have to match, does it?
And I think a lot of big retailers, that's the formula they follow.
Yeah.
And that's when, okay, you're all excited, you'll buy your chairs, dining or bedroom, matching tall boy. But then you're like, actually, this has no personality. This isn't me.
Yeah.
I'm all about, like you, the mix and the match. And we'll help you how to, you know, we'll show you how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with those main living areas, or the whole house, for example, what do you think are some key pieces that people can splurge on? Like once they sort of determine their budget and they realize, look, we can't get everything high end or we can't get everything top amazing quality. What do you think those key pieces are that are pretty much probably you should invest in?
For a no-brainer for me, it's probably an obvious one, but a sofa. I think, you know, a sofa is a piece that we should look at investing in and, you know, also have a think about, weigh that up with how long you intend to kind of stay in your home.
Yep.
Obviously, if you're investing in a piece that's quite original or unique, maybe with a modular form or something like that, it might not work in the house that you're going to be in next. You know, I don't like to think too far in advance, but you've got to weigh up those considerations. Yep. But if you're like, no, I want to stay in my home, you know, for 5, 10, 15 years, I think it's good to invest in a good sofa.
Mm-hmm.
And even you can go down to the infill of the cushion and go, I want it to be supportive, but I want it to feel, you know, like it's wrapping me up and cozy.
Yeah.
So we'll go for maybe a feather fibre wrap or something like that.
Yep.
And another piece that I love rugs. And I'm not saying, let's go for a $40,000 Oriental rug, but I think through your budget breakdowns, it shows that there is differences, okay? And we'll help you educate, you know, why would I choose I love woolen flat weave rugs.
Yes.
I use a lot of those because I work with a lot of corporate families, a lot of families with busy lifestyles, pets. I've got one myself. Yeah. I've had it, I think from the rug collection, I've had it now 5 to 6 years. I love it because you can flip it over. It looks brand new. It's forgiving. It's got different colors through it, all black and white, but different weaves through it. And it's been brilliant. You know, and then that cost a few thousand. Or we can up the game and go a beautiful vintage Moroccan tribal rug.
Yes, silk or something.
Source a one piece or a hand knot or something. Or, if you really just want to go an entry level, there's lots on the market that still don't have to be, that more plastic material. Nothing against the polypropylenes. I think they've got a place and a budget.
Yeah.
But probably the sofa, the rug, and then you could go down the lines of, for instance, if you live in a small space, I'm all about custom joinery. So that's really where I would invest in designing made for purpose, fit for purpose pieces that fit. Exactly. Change that. That's not for every project, but that's probably the areas that I look at investing in for my clients, and obviously have that conversation with them and see what works.
Absolutely. I think, custom joinery is brilliant for around, a TV. If you don't want something on the floor, you can design a beautiful, floating TV unit with some built-in shelving. Look gorgeous. Or even if you'd like a banquet seating around a dining table, you want some lovely built-in benches.
Absolutely.
And that's where you get that one-of-a-kind look.
You can really,
it's going to last a very long time.
If you're on storage, let's put some beautiful drawers under that banquet seating. It's hidden, maybe for entertainment platters, cushions, all that kind of stuff, or small space. You're lacking on stuff. That's number one. And something that's made especially for that little nook or that wall or that small space. When you walk in, it feels right. It feels beautiful. I think that's definitely a place to look at, keeping aside some budget. And talking about that.
And I think it also, built-in furniture really helps keep the proportions right in a room. People think you need to fill the room with lots and lots of furniture, but it's smaller pieces, and sometimes that can feel cluttered and make a really big room seem quite small. But I think if you invest in furniture pieces that are well sized, a beautiful big sofa, lovely custom entertainment unit, other than a coffee table and a rug, you don't need too much else, because you've got that size right, and that's going to be the wow factor. You don't have to fill up every wall or area. If you love that more boho sort of really cozy sort of feel, go for it. I tend to do that myself, I think, and I love collecting pieces just like you.
We're little bower beds, I think.
When you go to an op shop, you're like, oh, where can I put this? I need to find somewhere for this. But I think if you start with really simple, beautifully sized pieces, the rest can come together quite easily when you've got that size right.
Definitely. And I think that's also, a practical, functional thing that we help our clients with. Because there's nothing worse, than going out excited and then you buy this piece and it's like, oh, I actually could have gone a lot bigger. I can't actually lay on my couch, on my sofa. So they're little practical things that we really nut out for you. And, a common misconception with small spaces is I've got to choose small furniture because I live in a small space. That's not correct, I don't think. Obviously, we want to get the proportions right. We don't want big, chunky things taking up your space, but there's little, tricks and tips for that that we'll show you. But, keep things simple. And I think, when you live, I know I'm talking about small spaces a lot, but I think it's an area that doesn't get a lot of attention. An apartment, and a lot of people move into smaller spaces now, and they're like, what do I do here? So there's definitely ways of let's look at the budget, what can we do custom to really make it look like it's always been there and function for you, because everyone loves a shelfie, right? I love a shelfie. You got to get your things out. You got to get your beautiful things that you've collected, or that speak to you, because I think that is all about creating a home. Love coming home to, and even through COVID, you don't want to leave. So I think that's the balance. And back to what you said, Mel, about op shopping, thrift shopping, whatever you call it. It's really exciting to me that this is quite on trend at the moment, because that's where I find a lot of unusual pieces that people go, where's that from? And
Yeah.
it's like, well, I found it. And I love that treasure hunt
Yes.
kind of thing. So they're also services that we love to do,
Yeah.
and really, when we go for an initial consult with our clients or a Zoom meeting, a question we can ask is, what are your pieces that you would like to keep?
Yeah.
What do you want to get out, and show off? And that's all about balancing your budget as well, because
Yes.
you might have looked at something for years and years and years, or it's been in a drawer, forgotten about it. For instance, I'm working on a project and my client has all these amazing photos he's taken his whole life. They've been in drawers for decades, and we've just had them printed off and framed.
How beautiful.
It's a really nice thing that sometimes a fresh pair of eyes,
Yeah.
we can come in and go, that's amazing, and then pull the whole concept around that. And it really saves you money as well, because you're reusing, upcycling, and rocking your own personality, which I think is the main thing.
Yep. Because people think you have to, well, if you do hire an interior designer, if you're buying a new home, you've got to have all new furniture. Like, yes, that might seem amazing, like to have it all fresh. But you might have some pieces there that are gorgeous and that just, like you said, need a fresh set of eyes, or they serve a different purpose.
And sometimes it's just about like putting them in a new spot, or rocking them with some new cushions or a piece of artwork that it goes, how did I not see that? So I think that is quite the art as well. So, it's a fun process as well, which I obviously enjoy.
And one of the last topics before we finish up is what's your thoughts, or what do you think the difference is between a $50 Kmart chair and, a $300 dining chair? Why do people, why would you invest in that? And what is the difference? Like, where's the quality? Why pay more? What do you think?
For once, I would, and this is not me being pretentious or anything, but I would never recommend buying a chair from, say, Kmart, just because for $50 to $100, you could find a beautiful, probably locally made, 100% timber chair on Gumtree, Marketplace, a Facebook Marketplace, and it's probably handmade. It's timber, the quality's there. It's probably 100 plus years old. But I get if that's not your style, if you're not after a vintage chair, all in the construction and the thought process. And I think where chairs, for example, start to give up is where,
the fittings, isn't it?
The fittings and the actual structural part, where you're sitting and the legs and stuff. And I know at the time we might be strapped for money, or like, oh my God, I just need a chair. But sometimes being more thoughtful about our purchases and taking the time is actually weighs up in the end, because you've got chairs that you're sitting on and you're enjoying, and not breaking and throwing away. And it's just all, you think of these chairs that, they're a quick buck. They might be right on trend. Everyone needs them. Everyone wants them. And it's almost that, I have to have it. But you ask yourself, why do you want it? Will you like this chair in even 6 months? Everyone's different, and I'm not saying, don't shop at Kmart or Target, each to their own, but just remember there's so many fabulous secondhand pieces out there, or more affordable pieces, from some of the high street stores or through our suppliers that are really well made. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and I think the fact, I agree with everything you said, and some people might not be aware that those sort of high street stores like Kmart or whoever else, they copy what independent designers actually design. So, for example, like the Eames, like the white Eames chair, for example, like you see those everywhere. The real deal is, yes, a little bit more expensive, but that is because of the quality, and it's actually made in Europe, or it could be a local Aussie designer. And it's just so sad to see those big stores rip it off, charge, you know, a tenth of the price. And these smaller businesses get nothing from it. And our laws don't really cover or help local designers, which is a real shame.
It is. And I think, you know, this is a really a conversation that everyone has a different opinion on.
Yeah.
You know, some each to their own.
Yeah.
But I think the more that we become educated about what's happening, and that we actually maybe think outside the box. I know that's so cliche, but there's so much out there that just with, you know, even hiring an interior designer for a few hours and I need, you know, Jess, I need this chair. This is the kind of style. Can you find something? And we could find some options, maybe reupholster it. You know, sometimes, and I get it, people don't have the foresight or the vision that creatives might have.
Yeah.
You know, we're very strange people sometimes, but we have the opportunity of going, that could work amazingly. So for instance, the chair I'm sitting on now, I picked up on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't know if you can see them, but there's amazing little kind of Seska style chairs, and I got them a few years ago now, but I know that I'll have them forever. And
now, like, they're
everywhere. So no, but I just love them because the mid-century modern shape, that's a style that I love.
Yep.
I love rattan. Now it's everywhere, but it's okay because I know when the rattan craze is over, I'll still love it.
Yes.
You know, things like that. So I think it's about getting back to your interior personality, and that's things that we can help you do. So it's not me getting on my high horse and saying don't shop at Kmart or Target. You know, Target's got some amazing things as well.
They do.
It's very I like Target better than Kmart.
They're homewares. They've really lifted their game, haven't they?
Yeah, especially their Australian cotton range, I think, with their linen or something.
Yeah, okay.
Beautiful thing. So again, it's all about, I think, just thinking about things. And I think with COVID, it's made us all stop. And I hope we can continue that going forward.
Absolutely.
Conscious buying, I think, and knowing that, you know, sometimes getting furniture and pieces should take time. You know, it's like a lot of people say, I just want it done, I just want it finished. But sometimes you just need to slow down and go, why am I purchasing that? Am I going to love that? And it's actually a process, because sometimes people move into their homes and go, actually, I use this room a little bit differently.
Yes, that's so important. Use the space first. How is the family using it, and what do you need? And we work with clients, like, it's not instantly like on the block or those HGTV TV shows where you walk on in, the room's done, thank you very much, I'll leave you be. We can work with clients to a year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that takes a long time, because not only are we just like figuring out, okay, what is your style, what's going to work with the space, choosing the right pieces, really think about it, touch and feel it, let's go have a look. Then we've got to order it as well. And, you know, sometimes there's some big lead times.
Especially with COVID,
waiting for it to be delivered, you know, and it doesn't all come in at once. So,
it doesn't, you know, I wish it did, but let's be realistic here. It doesn't.
Yeah.
We're the magicians that make it happen in the background. But we also will keep you on track with that. And that's also, like we touched on before, a positive with local manufacture.
Yeah.
But even I was thinking the other day, Freedom, some of their lead times are 12 to 16 to 20 weeks.
I don't even touch that store anymore for that reason, and just the quality. Isn't that really good?
Personally, it's gone downhill, but they've got a few cute little pieces that then you can rock with something else. But, you know, sometimes, you're looking at 16 to 20 weeks.
It's ridiculous.
On a container from overseas, when we could probably do a sofa from 6 to 8 if it's a good week. You know, and that's manufacturing locally. So there's lots of things to weigh up. And it's a really good conversation. I think we need to keep having this just to help people understand what we do, why we do it, and that budget shouldn't be a scary word. That we're not asking you to judge or pry.
No.
We need a foundation to build upon.
Yes. And nor does that mean, okay, when you tell us your budget, we're going to spend every cent of it.
No,
Give us direction as well about, okay, which suppliers do we source from? Where do we think, okay, you've got a $15,000 budget. Okay, we know these are the suppliers we're going to go to, and we're not going to be wasting your time and our time, providing you look at all these options and you just can't afford it. We're not mind readers. We can't guess where your budget is. You've got to tell us that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why this budget you've put together is fantastic, because it gives you little benchmarks that you can go, look, for me, okay, I would spend about $4.5, $5 for a sofa.
Yep.
But look, for me, if I'm looking in the mid-range for TV unit, maybe I can spend $2.5.
Yep.
So it's all about, taking a bit from there, taking a bit from there, and really working through what you want to spend your money on. But also you have to be realistic. So, there are budgets that, are just not going to work. We are miracle workers, but we're not
to some extent.
So you have to be like, okay, like that's what it costs, and maybe even shop around to retailers and go, actually, $4.5 is a pretty standard price for a sofa.
Yeah.
We're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes or lie to you. It's about, okay, what's your budget? Where do you want to put your money? Let's see what's out there.
Yeah.
And like I said before, with custom joinery, everything affects everything.
Yeah.
Materials, sizes, all that. But it's good to just get some estimates and quotes and know what we're working with, and then go, oh, that's a lot. Where can we pull back? Or actually, that's amazing. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not mind readers, so it's great to be upfront first. And we work together with our clients for such a long time, and we form great relationships. We just want to be honest. We're very transparent in what we do. And, hiring an interior designer is not just for the high end. We work with some amazing budgets, yes, but we also work with, more realistic budgets, I guess. And that's where the challenge is, because we can be really creative and be really smart with what we've got to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. And, and that's the stigma, I think, that, I can't afford an interior designer, or what are they going to do for me? But I think it's really I like to bring my clients on that journey and really show them the networking community of people around me that are local businesses, local makers, local suppliers that they would have never known about.
Yeah.
Connected. And it's all about that approach. And, we are designers, but we are communicators, and I think communication is key.
Yeah.
A really important thing. So we're very fortunate to be doing what we're doing.
Absolutely. It's good fun and it's very rewarding, isn't it?
It is.
And what we'll do is we'll post a little bit later, maybe our top sort of few local or Aussie made furniture suppliers, I guess, or makers, because I know a few people want to know that. I mean, the beauty of hiring an interior designer is you get access to a little black book of suppliers that are not accessed through the general public. We want to support those small businesses, so let's put together a little list, I reckon, Jess.
Great.
I know there's a few on here that watch who really support me, and I love supporting them.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that they sometimes bend over backwards for our clients, and that's why we want to support them more, because they're just so helpful, and they are so, what's the word? They just love it. They want to help. And you can see their passion in their work.
Absolutely. And it's a really special thing, and I think we all really witnessed that during COVID.
Yeah.
We felt for our local makers, and we don't want to see that go away.
No.
And that, it's not melodramatic of me, but we need to support them if we want to keep our little local high streets, our shops, our makers.
Yep.
We need to support them. And even if you can't afford like a big piece, a lot of them sell smaller objects, or even just sharing things on social media or spreading the word.
Yep.
I think it's just more conscious purchasing.
Yes.
And really considering your budget and starting somewhere about putting all these things together.
Yeah, for sure. Jess, thank you so much. That was good fun.
Brilliant. It was my first live, so maybe that's why I was so sunburnt. I got a bit nervous, but not really. But no, thanks for having me on board. This was brilliant, and I think we need to keep this conversation going.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll pop some local suppliers down,
Yeah.
and go out and follow them on Instagram, check them out, say hi.
Yes.
I think it's it's a good feeling to be able to do that.
Yeah. Oh, good. And we'll put some details as well, how people can find you and your work and how to work with you.
And I really appreciate, you having another interior designer on here. And I think that's why we're so well connected as well as friends and colleagues, because we just have a similar approach. I think everyone has a different little twist, different style, and there's room for everyone. But I think it's brilliant to be able to have these creative conversations together and talk about areas that people might not know about, areas that might be a little bit difficult to talk about.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate you inviting me.
Yay, let's do it again soon.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully I might go as red, or I'll wear a turtleneck. That's the key.
All good. Or we should do it. We should do it together. We can do it live now.
Cool.
Hey,
that would be
cool.
But at least the first live's done now, so I can go
Tick it off. Done.
All right, thanks, Mel, and thanks for everyone tuning in.
Thank you. See ya. Bye.